All right, guys, what is going on? What is Gucci gang, chat? Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. I know I am. I know Ibranith is having a good day as well. Not only did the SMS community get another funded account. That's normal. That's a normal thing. SMS never dried up, baby. Testimonials never dried up, never fucking washed up around here. But not only did the SMS get another funded account, but we got a lady account, dude. Most of you guys are dudes. Most of y'all are dudes. That's fine. But we have a very few amount of ladies in the community, so it's just all that more special for a lady to get funded. So drop a, which one is it? Drop the celebration emoji, drop the birthday emoji into the chat. Congratulations, Ibranith, on another one. I think you got funded before, if I'm not mistaken. You're one of my longer term students. I know. I'm pretty sure you had gotten funded before. I don't think this is your first funded account, right? I don't remember. We got a lot of students and a lot of y'all get funded and payouts and all that stuff. It's hard to keep up. I don't write this stuff down. Sorry, too much winning, right? DJ Khaled, suffering from success. It's too funny. Too easy, chat. Third account. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But that's still good. That's still good. Third funded account. Let's go. So, again, it just goes to show, right, what is possible. What really is possible. Because at the end of the day, bro, everybody, at the end of the day, if it was just one or two people getting funded, if it was just one or two people getting payouts, things would be kind of weird. It's like, if you have a community of almost 200 people, but if nobody's getting funded, if nobody's getting payouts, that says a lot about me. Right? That says, I mean, a lot about you guys too, but mainly me, because I'm obviously the face of SMS. The founder and face of SMS. But the fact that we have funded accounts all the time, payouts all the time, and even if you aren't going the funded route, a lot of you guys are still learning, still taking good trades, still growing. Like, shit is amazing, bro. It's crazy because I never really had doubts, bro. Like, when I started SMS, I was like, okay, if these people actually do what the fuck they're supposed to do, this will work. And here we are, still 3.5 years later, still going strong, baby. Still going strong. Don't you love that? Yeah, the market is cringe, but we still make money. Yeah. Yeah, that is the case, man. That is the case. When you really eliminate the distractions, Marcus Aurelius, meditations, right? When you really focus on what it is that you have to do, when you're focused on your own journey and your own setups, right? That's what you get, right? That is what you get. So, again, just goes to show, if you do the right stuff, if you have the right mindset, if you have the right risk management, you don't even have to be, nobody's really a perfect trader, obviously, but good enough for payouts, good enough for passing challenges, combines, whatever. And that's what it's all about, man. That is what it is all about. So, it's not about let me just talk a little bit more. It's not about, you know, chasing the what do you call them, the certificates. It's not you know, chasing that stuff to then go into the Discord and post it, because you know I'll probably put it on my Instagram or whatever, or come on YouTube and say stuff. Like, it's not about that at all, right? That's like outcome stuff. To get funded, to get payouts, to make money in trading, all of that is outcome oriented. You get those things by being process oriented. Okay? So that is what you need to focus on. Focus on the process, focus on the details, right? And the outcomes will take care of themselves. Right? I think that's been one of the focuses this week, is understanding not just concepts, but also like the sort of, I still don't ever think we had a name for this, but it's sort of like secondary entries, right? Where you have, like in this case, we're just looking at ES. I think Cameron said it was like, oh, super clean today, and I agree. Like, what I mean, like, I guess a primary entry would be the mitigation model. And then the secondary entry would be waiting for the mitigation model to be respected and then playing the shifts in a state of delivery. Does that make sense to everybody? The higher sort of setup here is the primary entry, or PE, we could say. And that sort of being respected and then getting in later would be like a secondary entry. So there's PE and SE, I guess. I guess we can call it that, if we're going to put a name on it. Did I ever call it anything else, chat? I don't think we had another name for it. Did we? Primary entry, secondary entry. Drop a 1 if that at least makes sense. There's 40 of you here. Drop a 1 if you guys get it. Primary entry, secondary entry. I think a lot of people would do better focusing on the secondary entry versus the primary. That's my opinion. Okay, cool. Cool. So yeah, have y'all been looking at those this week? Basically the primary and secondary entries, you know, seeing setups or seeing the smaller setups after that, right? Because you had that 5-minute mitigation model, and then you could have that 5-minute shift and state delivery model, or right, just for studying purposes, right, go into the details, you have an inversion model here, right? Last imbalance on the way lower, we trade through it. That's also both of those are shifts in state delivery. Okay, and then notice where all the bodies and the wicks are respecting, right? Good old supply and demand, baby. Good old supply and demand right there. Love that. Love that, baby. Just like McDonald's. Loving it. Know what I'm saying? It's too easy, chat. It's too easy. Nice market maker buy model on the 1 minute. Ooh, my butcher box is going to be delivered today. Psh, what a good day. What a good day. I got some nuggets on the way. Some grass-fed, grass-finished nuggets, man. Y'all don't know anything about that. One step at a time, though. One step at a time. I think I fumbled my account. Oops. Forgetting to align my small time frame models out of the higher time frame point of interest. Lesson learned for sure. What time is dinner, Scott? I don't know, probably like 9 p.m. honestly. I've been gaming the last couple days, been grinding Pal World. If you know, you know. It's funny. It's kind of a funny game, but I just got the flyest character and the fastest character, like the fastest flying character, and been zooming all over the map and grinding, so been staying up late. But anyway, let's come back. So Gavin, time frame alignment, right? Time frame alignment. So that's either going to be the triple screen or you, well, I guess you guys can't see it, but y'all know on TradingView up here, there's the time frames: 1 minute, 2 minute, 5, 15, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. And then there's like quarterly and yearly, which I don't look at all that often, but it's still there. So yeah, if you're not gonna utilize the triple screen, which I think when I taught you guys is this one, the one that I use, right? Bottom left, higher time frame, top left, your sort of medium time frame, and then the entry time frame or your smallest time frame. So if you're not going to do that, that's fine, but at least remember, start on the daily, right? What have we been talking about this week? What have I been telling you? We took out that low already from that Friday. I'm anticipating higher pricing, right? And I told you yesterday, I'm still bullish until proven wrong, right? That was public. That was on a live stream. That was free. And yeah, we got a lot of overnight movement. Sure. London wrecks lower. That's pretty normal. Okay. But then what has today done? Have we not seen long opportunities? Have we not seen long opportunities? The fucking bias was yesterday. Bias was yesterday. Yesterday. Almost 24 hours prior to this morning. Bullish bias and then seeing bullish setups. Like, is that not fucking awesome to you? And you can do the same thing, bro. Literally, you can do the same exact thing. That's top down in a nutshell. What does the higher time frame say? All right. It ain't going to be perfect. You're not going to get it right every time, but it's like, okay, what are we more likely to do, this or are we more likely to do that? If you can't frame one side, you're probably in low probability conditions. If you can frame one side and not the other side, you're in more favorable conditions. And now you see what that does. Higher time frame, bullish. Lower time frame, smacking easy mitigation or easy secondary entries. It's not impossible. It is difficult. It's not always easy, but it's far from impossible. Jay-Z, you're late today? Shame. Y'all ever seen Game of Thrones? Shame. Shame. Anyway. Yeah. What questions do you guys have? What else would you like to know? You want to do more studies? Do you want to do more top down? Do you want to do, what is it that you want to do? And you're right, whoever said that earlier, we probably have a buy model here. Even though it just doesn't look what's the word I'm looking for? Screenshot perfect. Like, I wouldn't put this setup in a book. It wouldn't be in a book, but it's decent. Consolidation. We left it multiple times. Traded back into it multiple times, but I think measuring a consolidation sometimes can be subjective, so I wouldn't worry about it. But nonetheless, distribution, redistribution, and then all of these lows in here, especially at 755, right? What a weird and strange time for the market to make a low. I guess all the buyers maybe came in. Is it the buyers coming in or is it the sellers coming in? Are sellers pushing price lower or are the buyers just putting their orders down? Yeah, I don't know. But whatever the fuck the case is, you have a 1, 2, 3 formation here. And then 8 o'clock, new hour, We go higher, 830 here. So that's obviously you're crossing a 50%. And then back into the discount end of the premium. And now we're a little bit higher. We are posting a big ass flag here though. That's probably not cool, but whatever. And yeah, slowly, I'm asking you guys, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's the buyers, maybe it's the seller. I don't know. We should just ask them then. We should just go ask the buyers and ask the sellers. Maybe that would be helpful. Get some inside information. Be like the politicians and the Trumps, right? Working off insider information. Wonder why we haven't done that yet. Best times when we make a high or low of day. Well, gee, you know what? You've got some studying to do, don't you? I don't remember. Jordan D comes in the chat every once in a while. I don't know if he's here today, but at one point we were keeping track of when the low of day and high of day was set. And I think we did that for a couple weeks, and then we retired that, I guess. It's both. The sellers sold to the buyers. Okay, Cameron, thank you for that. Or maybe the sellers are the buyers. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just go buy some courses. How about that? Should we just do that? Let's go on Twitter. There's plenty of courses over there. Right? Maybe one of them knows. Because there definitely won't be conflicting information over there. There definitely won't be that. But yeah, so this looks like a beautiful market maker model. This looks like a decent second leg for the upside, but first leg has been faster, so not great. And again, like I said, I don't really care for this sort of flag formation that we're forming, especially in regular trading hours. You can see the flagpole here and sort of a flag formation there. So I don't really care for that. But nonetheless, liquidity still up here. Low resistant highs, higher time frame, leaning bullish. So we're probably going to trade higher. And ES has already done a lot of business above previous day high. So I guess we'll have to FAFO, huh? I guess we'll have to FAFO a little bit. A little bit of FAFO never hurt nobody. Yeah, buy some for 5,000. Yeah, I mean that's a great way to spend $5,000. I'm sure. Bro said I bought a Corolla for 5K. Yeah. That seems reasonable. Not in 2026, but that does seem reasonable maybe like 5 years ago. Does the dollar correlate to the indices ever? Yes. It's not in lockstep, but they are generally inversed. If you have a strong dollar and weak indices, that's a recipe for really awesome trades. Now, if you have a bullish dollar and bullish indices, it's not going to be as correlated because they can still both go up. But whenever you have setups that are inverse, yeah, that's when you get really good stuff. Told him it's useless. Now he knows better. Hey, man, sometimes you gotta go through the lesson, dude. Some lessons are more expensive than others. Bro said he bought a car with no wheels. Well, that's like trading without using smart money concepts. That's what that is. Caffeine must be kicking in. Or I was a comedian in my past life, maybe. I don't know. I don't believe in all that shit, but I thought it was worth saying. I guess we can overlap the dollar then, since you guys don't really have anything else. Let me scrunch this up a little bit. Gosh darn. Gosh darn. All right. That sort of looks awful, but it's okay. So I guess, and this is why I said they're not in lockstep, but if you look at it, right, when you see stronger dollar, lower indices, weaker dollar, higher indices, or at least NQ, strong dollar back in late June, indices weakness here, right? So there's sort of a inverse relationship, but it's not going to be like the euro and the dollar index where they're like 80% of the time inverted. It's not that strong. Dan, I don't have thoughts on oil, bro. Oil is fundamentally, there are so many things that you really can't take into consideration about oil. Who is it? OPEC and the people over there that they can manipulate oil big time production and all that type of stuff, and it's just, or gas tax and policies and whatever else. It's just fundamentally there's so many things that I can't keep up with that stuff. So I don't look at oil a lot. I just don't care about it. I think it's over here. Okay, yeah, see. And earlier this year, we had this shit here. Usually when commodities do stuff like this, I mean, you can see it in history when they have like extremes. Oh man, May of 2020, that was a beautiful time, especially like for Halliburton. But really outliers like that, like back in 2020 or something like 2021, where it goes from 70 to 120, stuff like that really isn't sustainable, and we did something like that very recently, earlier this year. Went from 68 to 100 and some change, and stayed above 100 for a while. I don't think this is sustainable long term. I don't think it should stay up there. I think it should not do that. And no, G, I haven't taken any trades today. I should have, but I did not. What else you guys got? We do not have a stream tomorrow. We have a market view tomorrow, and then we'll be here Friday. So if there's anything else, now is the time. Bro prefaced that question by saying, hey, this is silly, but why do you prefer futures and indices over trading currency / gold? When I got started, okay, long time ago, 2013 is really when I started to like Google what is the stock market and stuff like that. Now in 2014, once I had went to boot camp, got out of boot camp, and then went to what's called an A school. That's where you're supposed to learn like your job. That's the school they kicked me out of. because I was white, but we won't get into that. But anyway, while I was at the school, before I got kicked out, I was looking into what the stock market was. So I basically started off in stocks. I started off in, just normal cash, buy shares, sell shares, and then I got into like the leveraged ETFs and stuff like that. And then you find out there's ETFs for everything. There's ETFs for oil and this and that and a third. So basically, it's where I started. That's where I'm from. Like when you're born from somewhere, like that's where you're from. I was born in Houston. That's where I'm from. Right? I started off in stocks. So although futures are not the same, the futures are measurements, right, of stocks. So it's kind of like I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's where I started. And I'm just better at them than currencies. So that's why. Do you look about fundamentals for stocks? Not really. Not really. I'd rather look at seasonality than fundamentals. Because again, just like with oil, when it comes to stocks, there's too many fundamental things that we don't know, that we can't really predict all that much. Again, like I said with OPEC, there could be policy changes, there could be interest rate changes. I really don't want to get into like consumer discretionary and all that type of stuff, but economics in general is way too difficult long term because there's so many things that have to happen, plus with stocks there's quarterly earnings, so every year there's 4, that could shake things up too. So it's difficult. And I never really found consistency with fundamentals. I mean, and maybe there's people out there that do have that skill. I don't. So I don't look at them. Just want to say thanks for your passion to share very good knowledge and the way to trade this week. I have just green days. Very nice. And feel way more comfortable and confident with finding opportunities. Thank you for that. You're welcome. You're welcome. See, that's the thing, man. That's what I opened up with when we were saying, and now everybody's on here, but that's why I was saying when Ibranith got funded again, it's like, so many people are getting funded. So many people are getting payouts all the time. Not every single day, but all the time you see the testimonials chat. All the time you see my Instagram story talking about that stuff. This stuff works. If nobody was getting funded, if nobody was getting payouts, if nobody was seeing green days, right? Or that calendar that Top Step has and that all these electronic journals have, right? All these calendars and stuff. If you guys weren't seeing success, you wouldn't stay here. You wouldn't keep your subscription. You wouldn't watch the live streams. You wouldn't watch the market reviews. And it's not to toot my own horn, but I know this shit works. But running a community would not work if you guys didn't see success. Nobody would follow me. Nobody would subscribe to me. Nobody would pay attention to me if it didn't work. Gee, not necessarily. I did not trade futures the first few years, so not that long, but I have been watching and studying the markets for that long. Yes, that's a long time now that I think about it. 11 and a half years, I think. Yeah, 11 and a half. Something like that. He said, if the market is a mirror of our psychology, what is the biggest thing trading has forced you to confront about yourself? So the market isn't a reflection of your psychology. That's Man, there's a name for that and I don't have it. But basically it's not pseudoscience, but it's one of those things that sounds good, but it's not. That's not a thing. Now, I would say maybe your results could be a reflection of your psychology. If you hold on to trades too long, or if you cut winners short, you'll see that in your results. If you overtrade, if you over leverage, if you do all this shit, revenge trading, let's see. I'm taking notes for another video that I'm going to make here pretty soon, but like if you're reckless and you revenge trade, you overtrade, all that type of stuff, you'll see that in your results. So that is, but the market itself is not. The marketplace, the current price and the history of price is a marketplace. It is a product. You guys realize that, right? When you go to CME Group, you look at products. This is a product, okay? This is something that you trade. And as you guys know, what I believe about the market is that it is controlled. And sometimes manually manipulated, yes. But an algorithm moves this thing. Just like there's one for NQ, there's one for ES, and there's one for Dow, which is, I don't know, probably has an extra chromosome or something, because that, you know, Dow Jones price action, sometimes it's fucking bonkers. But that's what I believe. So the market is not a mirror of our psychology, but hopefully that makes sense. So no matter how you look at it, though, even trading in general will expose who you are. So if you're impatient, you'll see that. If you are greedy, you'll see that. So that's one thing I know about myself. I am an impatient person. I have to constantly work on that. Now, going on a digital detox, that helps big time. Like, no shit, bro. Turning off the computer, turning off the phone, turning off the laptops, the laptop, but being closed off from the internet, being closed off from most of technology. I'm not going to turn the fucking lights off like I'm Amish or something, but the internet, pretty much turning off the internet, turning off social media, picking up a book, diving into a journal or a field notes notebook, going outside, walking, you know, getting fresh air, all that stuff, getting the blood flowing, reconnecting to how humans were created, basically, right? Like Adam and Eve did not have laptops. Adam and Eve were not day trading. You know what I'm saying? We created electricity, you know, a few hundred years ago. We created technology not all that long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like computers are what, 20, 30 years old? From the public, at least. You know what I'm saying? I forgot where I was going with this. But doing those sorts of things, that's how you figure out who you are. And so by understanding, okay, John, you're really fucking impatient. Well, yeah, you're trading a 1 minute time frame, you're trading a 5 minute time frame, you're getting immediate feedback, or your trade's going immediately in your direction. Like, there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a justification to be impatient. You're trading on very, very small time frames. Now, what happens is with me, when I go and, you know, I order food or I'm sitting in traffic, that's the fucking worst, bro. Don't even get me started on traffic. All these fucking, I'm passing everybody up in the right lane. It's fucking disgusting. Even in my my loaner car, it's a Chevy Blazer, right? It's terrible. I fucking hate it. It's so awful. I mean, but it's free, so who cares? But anyway, I talked about this the other day in my Instagram story. I'm passing everybody up in the right lane, and it's like, you people have no sense of urgency. You're not going anywhere quickly. You're not, like, you're doing the speed limit or a little bit under in the fast lane, in the passing lane, right? Ludicrous. Move, bitch. Get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because people have no sense of urgency. You're drudging in your, in your car to get to work, or, to do something that you don't want to do. People have no sense of urgency. Me, bitch, if I'm hungry, I'm trying to get to where I'm going. So I want to hurry up and get there. What are we going to fuck around for in traffic? Bro, let me tell you something. Traffic is a facade, okay? Traffic is not real. Do you guys understand that? There might be a lot of cars, right? But the problem is the person in the front is fucking texting and driving. They're texting at the red light, looking at their phone, not knowing when the fuck the light's going green. So then a couple seconds goes by, then the second car goes, and a third, and fourth, fifth, and all that. And all that space created is what the traffic actually is. What's good, Lee Bright? Lee Bright, my boy. Welcome. Drop a celebration emoji. We got a lot of celebrations today. What's good, Lee Bright? I know you came in right in the middle of my rant. I wonder if he thought about that. Like, all right, I'm gonna join John's live stream. Hopefully he's not in a rant. And I come in and he's passing everybody up in the right lane. What the fuck is going on? We're supposed to be talking about trading. He's talking about driving. What the fuck is going on? But anyway, I'm an impatient person because I want to get things done. I want people to do their job. I want people to drive how they're supposed to drive. And when people are slow and lethargic and they don't care, it's annoying. And it's like, it's irritating because it's like, bro, you could be more successful if you just fucking moved your ass. Right? But again, when I do my digital detox, when I get into the books and the journaling, and I literally become unreachable, no phone, no computer, no internet, no nothing, my impatience basically goes away. And I'm super relaxed. Don't care what time it is. I don't care what everybody else is doing. None of that matters. What matters is, like Marcus Aurelius said in Meditations, right? Concentrate every minute like a Roman on what's in front of you, like a man with intention, and whatever else he said. And I think I get it now. You know what I mean? And so, yes, trading will expose who you are. Not in the charts, but in the end result. So hopefully that makes sense. Those are great questions, by the way. Thank you for that. Matter of fact, gold star for E. How about that? We haven't given out a gold star in a minute. We gave a cat one the other day. Someone's cat. Or no, I think it was your cat. Wasn't it E? Or you and your cat have a gold star now? Look at that. I always thought the market was manipulated once I realized fundamentals only go where time, price, and context dictates to it in most cases. Wow, Gavin. If I did not already have a pinned comment, that would be the pinned comment. Seriously. Gavin said, I always thought the market was manipulated once I realized fundamentals only go where time, price, and context dictates to it in most cases. Yeah, exactly. What's your opinion on trading crypto? I don't do it, David or Lawan. I don't know what your name is here. I don't really trade crypto. It's not really my thing. I'm just not good at it. It's just you're asking the wrong person. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't. Bringing up the digital detox was the best thing for me. I've been doing that 1 day a week. Game changer. Of course. Of course. I wish I could do it longer than that. Maybe like a week. But that's too long. That's too long. Slow down and being patient is very visible in the results. Okay. So not to show off to you guys, but let's think about this for a second. If you go back, I think it's either stillness is the key or discipline is destiny. But in one of those books, there's a chapter that Ryan has, and it's called Slow Down to Go Faster. And it's a really interesting concept. It's unfortunate. I don't think a lot of you actually play Counter-Strike or CS2, but in video games in general, it's almost the same thing. because trying to go too fast in a shooter game, if you go too fast, you may not line up your shot and you're going to miss. But if you slow down just a little bit and you actually take maybe a half second or a quarter of a second more time to actually aim, you'll actually land your shot. So by slowing down just a little bit, you'll actually get a lot better results. And so while you guys may not play shooter games, and it may not make sense to you if you don't understand that, but trading can be the same way. If you simply slow down for 30 seconds or maybe a minute or two, maybe take a deep breath or something, think about what you're doing before you do it, that can really boost your results. It can prevent you from doing stupid shit, and it can let's say help you hold on to trades longer, stuff like that. I came back and here we are in the 4-hour DMV traffic live stream powered by the traffic ticket fees. Damn. Oh, Lee Bright went all the way with the detox and said, I even stopped streaming. Well, that is dedication. What has that done for you though, Lee Bright? Has it helped? You can only go fast in Fortnite. Yeah, I don't play Fortnite anymore. I never really enjoyed that game. I thought it was stupid. You shoot somebody one time and then they build a whole fucking castle on you. It's like, all right, bro, we're not doing this. I think I was, 28, 27 years old when that game came out? Too old for this shit. I have this book ready as the next. Yeah, Jay-Z, see if you can do that real quick. Flip through those books and find that chapter on, I think it's in Stillness. Check that one first. Slow down to go faster. I think that's in Stillness is the key. I have so many books from him, and there's so many chapters in each one, I can't remember everything. I did write a companion essay a few months ago. Maybe is it in there? Maybe I didn't. Well, anyway, did you, let's do this. Drop a 1 in the chat if you would like a copy of the companion essay for Stillness is the Key. Because I think we put that out like 4 months ago. For March. That was March of 2020. That was March of this year. And yeah. Limit your inputs, television commercials, emails, text, social media, news, if we can even call it that, politics, billboards, gossip, drama, all distractions. So on and so forth. Dude, I kind of kicked ass with this, not gonna lie to you. I kind of wrote that pretty nicely. We must find peace and quiet. We must slow down in our fast world. We must journal, weigh our options, question our immediate assumptions, and view things from perspectives other than our own. We must live right now and let tomorrow worry about itself. We must limit our inputs and control the stuff we watch and listen to. We must empty our minds of bad thinking and learn from experiences and move on. Our mind is important. Don't forget that. We must take care of our minds with the utmost care and consideration. We must find stillness. Damn, who wrote that? That's pretty good. Oh, is discipline is destiny? Oh, shit. I don't know if I have those notes. Yes, I do. Oh my God, that was from 2022. No wonder I don't remember it. That was years ago. Oh yeah, there it is. Slow down to go faster. The person who rushes, the person who puts efficiency over efficacy, who ignores the small stuff is, in the end, not very efficient. Energy plus moderation, measured exertion, eagerness with control. Yeah, Festina Lente. I think hustle isn't always about hurrying. It's about getting things done properly. Bro, let me copy and paste this real quick. Those are just the 3 lines that I have from that chapter. I'll post that in the... Oh, I exceeded the limit. There's a text limit in the chat. What a fucking... Fuck YouTube and their fucking bullshit. If I want to blow up the chat, I want to blow up the chat, dude. What type of shit is that? One second, folks. 1 second. There you go. G, have you been to the painted bookshop? Or the painted porch bookshop? Ooh. See that flag I was talking to you about? That's what it does. You get a bull flag and then the market rips lower. But yeah, I've been to the painted porch and he wasn't there. But it's okay. I asked Lee right earlier what the digital detox has done for him, and he commented back and said, it helped a lot. I walk more, drink more water, sleep better, more clarity in my decision-making process. Yeah. Because again, bro, not to get like philosophical on you or religious on you guys, but humans were not created to sit in front of screens. You know what I mean? Like, humans were not created to sit in an office or to grind out, 40 hours a week in like some sort of job. You guys do understand where the 40-hour work week came from, right? Y'all remember Theodore Roosevelt? It was around roughly that time where we had coal miners and people working in the tunnels and shit like that, and they were getting overworked, and so they unionized and all that stuff, and they fought for a 40-hour work week to limit the amount of hours. So the 40-hour work week was based on like physical labor, but nowadays people want to grind 50-60 hours a week. It's not natural, like humanly natural. It's not. That's why you get burnt out and there's decision fatigue, right? That's a mental model we've talked about before. Decision fatigue. The more decisions you make, the worse they become. That's where it came from, which was not all that long ago. The 40-hour work week was maybe like less than 200 years ago. It's like 100, maybe 100, 150 years ago. Prior to that, prior to 150 years ago, all of human history never had like a specific 40-hour work week. That was never a thing. But because I grew up in the last 30 years, most of you guys are roughly the same age. To us, the 40-hour work week has been a thing our entire life. So it seems normal because it's normal to us, but it's not. It's not normal at all. So when you get back to your roots, essentially, as a human being, and you leave the screens, you get rid of the blue light, you get rid of all those things I said a moment ago, the notifications and the emails and all that shit, you get away from that, you get back to your natural, like closer to your natural state, your created natural human state. Right? Again, Adam and Eve didn't have laptops. Adam and Eve didn't have, corporate meetings and Microsoft Teams. and all that shit. No. Run barefoot in the forest. Yeah, well, you can do that all you want. You won't find me barefoot in the forest. Can't do it. Can't do it. Maybe the front yard, but that's about it. I've made a lot of research too. Studies show that our brain is still the same as the beginning. We were not built to make 3,000 decisions a day. We were not built to receive 10,000 ads a day. Right. I don't think... Oh, shit. Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman. I don't think I made that book of the month, but he talks about that too. Technology and television. Television, let me give you a little history lesson before we hop off here. Where we are today started originally from the printing press. The printing press was one of the most influential pieces of technology ever in the history of humanity. Okay? The printing press is what had it gave humans, it gave us the ability to now mass produce information. It wasn't like that before. Bibles were expensive, paper was expensive, books were massively expensive because you couldn't really like copy them. We didn't have copiers and scanners and shit. Somebody could make a book and then you'd have to pay somebody to sit there and write it and all that to make a copy. Shit was massively expensive. Books were very expensive. But once we figured out how to make cheaper paper, once we had the printing press and even like newspapers and stuff. Oh, I'll get to newspapers in a minute. That's the real culprit. That's the fucking devil was newspapers, but we'll get to that. The printing press allowed us to mass produce information. So that's how all the scientists got together and could communicate a little bit more because they could publish their papers. They could publish their scientific discoveries and work and all that. So they could have peer review studies and all that stuff, which we still have today, which is good. It's a good thing. Okay. Eventually, we found super, super cheap paper. And that's where the newspaper was created. The problem with the newspaper, though, is you can look this up. It was the first ever ad. It was the first like ever paid advertising to the newspaper company or agency because they were essentially losing money. And then they were like, wait a minute, we can sell a little bit of ad space and now we can actually make money doing it. And it didn't take long for them to start going, okay, more ad space, make it more expensive, all that stuff. And that was the beginning. That was essentially the dawn of advertising. And that's why I said it's the fucking devil. Because now that is the business model in today's world is free stuff, but it comes with ads. And then Netflix 2 or 3 years ago, bitch ass, finally came back full circle. Oh, we're going to make a lower tier subscription model, but it's going to have ads. When they originally created Netflix to get rid of ads, right? That's the world we live in. So all these like spam emails that you get when you go on Instagram and or whatever platform and you doom scroll, that's why every other post is an ad. Because it's free social media, it's a free platform, but they have to make money. So now we're bombarded with ads. And guess what? That is also what fragments your attention. That's why your memory is as bad as it is now. I don't know about you guys, but most people's memory is not what it used to be. We have a fragmented attention span. We have trouble memorizing things because we're going so back and forth. Oh, try this laundry soap. Oh, try these dude wipes. Oh, you get a fucking trading thing, right? Oh, comment indicator down below to get my indicator or whatever. And you're just getting all this stuff. That's what Neil Postman was talking about in the 80s. He was saying, how the fuck are we watching the news about 9/11? Right, back when like 9/11 first started. Soldiers are over there getting blown up and shit. They're out there doing all this stuff. Oh, here's a Papa John's ad. It's like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. We're talking about war. We're talking about death. We're talking about all this stuff. Oh, but wait. Papa John's, you know, $5 whatever. Subway, $5 footlong or some shit. It's like, what is that doing to our attention and to our ability to think critically and to think deeply? We're over here talking about some real shit, and then now we're talking about laundry detergent? What? It throws you off, right? That was the dawn of where we are today. Was the printing press, and then I think it was the newspaper, and then now it's the internet, and eventually the internet's not bad, but eventually it became, what was it, MySpace, and then Facebook, and then Instagram, and now TikTok. And that's where we are as a society. So you want a history lesson? There's some real fucking history for you. Oh, the War of 1812. Man, fuck all that. Let's talk about technology and where we are. And we have AI now too. Right? We didn't have AI 10 years ago. Not public anyway. Right? Now you see all these AI flyers and AI thumbnails and shit. And I have a couple AI thumbnails too. I'm not saying that all that's bullshit, but y'all know what I'm talking about with these AI posters. Everyone's shit looks the same. Where we are as a society is crazy. But that's what it's doing to our attention span and to our ability to think deeply and to critically think. You cannot go deep into a subject with fragmented things, trying to multitask. It just doesn't work. Adam and Eve would have been support and resistance traders? Nah. God would have told them to buy, and they would have sold. That's what they did. God was like, you can have all this stuff, but you can't touch like this tree or a couple of these trees. And then that's when the devil came in and said, well, you know, it'll be all right. And then Eve, she went first. And then Adam and his infinite wisdom trusted a woman, right? I'm just kidding. But, you know, and that was it. But yeah, they would have done the opposite of what they were told. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, capitalist. A lot of the first books made were the ones about witches and magic. That, I think Neil might have touched on that, but that wouldn't be surprising to me. What you have to realize, brothers, the printing press made all of that possible. There was already witchcraft. There was already, pseudoscience, like The Secret, right? And all this law of attraction and what all that fucking bullshit. There was also obviously like smut. Y'all know what smut is, right? It's like pornography, but in books, in book form. Like pornography, but in text form, right? All of that was already there, but it was very niche because back then, 100 years ago, people actually cared about their reputation and their word. You know what I'm saying? Because that was it. Like your word was your bond, bro. Nowadays, people don't give a fuck. But at that time, that stuff was already available. Once the printing press came out, though, everything became amplified. The witchcraft could be mass-produced. The pseudoscience could be mass-produced. The porn in text form could be mass-produced. And so that was the dawn of information overload, basically. But we have it far worse. We have it, honestly, like 10,000 times worse because of our phone and computer. We see hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of ads a day. That was unheard of 100 years ago. Wouldn't have happened. Bro, the Pony Express, it took like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month or two to mail a letter across the United States. I can have a conversation with somebody in China right now. I don't know anybody in China, but the internet put all that stuff together. The telegraph actually was the first way to take the distance out of it. You could do the Telegram thing, but yeah, that's real history. That's not bullshit. That's real verifiable stuff that you can look up. Oh yeah, Libre. We can't even remember the last 2 reels video we watched without coming back. Yep. You're welcome, Scott. Final thoughts on the market. I'm still bullish, bro. I'm gonna stay bullish until proven wrong. I could be wrong, bro. We might have made it a high of day. It's possible. Oh, look at this shit. I don't think so. I think we have some lows that got swept, and I think we should trade up for that. Doesn't mean we will. We may end up coming down for these lows. It's hard to say. But like yesterday, I'm still bullish on the higher time frame, so I'm going to stay bullish until proven wrong. It's just a little bit harder to trade here because you're in such a premium at this point. You could scalp it, but that may not be worth it to you. So that's it. That's all I got. So with that, hopefully you guys got some value today. I didn't really plan on giving a brief history lesson on technology and how it rapes our attention span and critical thinking skills, but hopefully it gives you something to think about, because everything that we do now today has become so normalized. You know what I mean? Texting while driving is normal. Fucking everybody does it. And a lot of people don't even wait for the fucking red light. Seeing ads every day has become a normal thing. It's become socially acceptable. Right? And so, although things have become normalized, doesn't mean that it's naturally normal. It shouldn't be. I think the best course for what we should do, myself included, is at least 1 day a week of digital detox. At least 1, maybe 2 days a week of no phones, no internet, no computer. I think Sunday is a really good day for that. Saturday could probably be a good day. But I think, for me personally, I think Sunday is the best day for that. Shutting everything down Saturday night and turning everything else back on Monday morning. And just have a 24-hour period where you're not worried about any of that shit. And trust me, if you haven't tried it, you should. So, with that, y'all be good. Be blessed. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will put out a market review tomorrow on Thursday for the members here. And I will see the members again on Friday the 24th for our next live stream. We'll probably talk a little bit about the monk who sold his Ferrari and some of the lessons in there. And I think it'll be fun. So I will see you guys next time when I see ya.